Titans versus gods, the legend of Zeus and Cronus. In time immemorial, before mankind wrote its history, there was a realm where the boundaries between the real and the unreal were blurred. Here, in this unknown corner of the cosmos, the gods and titans wielded supreme power, shaping the destinies of worlds and stars. At the center of this fabulous universe, on Mount Olympus, was the palace of Zeus, king of the gods, a colossal structure built of silver clouds and precious stones, which reflected the lights of the rainbow. Zeus, the son of Kronos, the titan of time, had been endowed with unparalleled powers. In his tumultuous youth, he succeeded in overthrowing his own father, ending the tyranny of the titans and ushering in a new age, the age of the gods. However, the shadow of the past never really left him. Kronos, defeated and humiliated, had been chained in the dark depths of Tartarus, a dark prison from which no entity had ever escaped. However, evil never truly dies, it just waits, lurking in the shadows, for the opportune moment to return. While Zeus ruled with wisdom and justice, signs of deep turmoil had begun to manifest in his kingdom. A cold wind, unusual for the warm skies of Olympus, had begun to blow, bringing with it whispers and dark forebodings. The sacred animals of the gods were behaving strangely, and the priests and oracles were receiving disturbing visions, interspersed with images of disaster and the return of a great evil. In these visions, the figure of Kronos took shape, prouder and more terrifying than ever, surrounded by an aura of darkness and distorted time. With each passing day, the signs became clearer. Kronos, thirsty for revenge and power, was gathering his forces to escape from his eternal prison and reclaim the throne he had lost. Mystery deepens around this impending threat. How did Kronos manage to escape his bonds? What dark forces helped him in this endeavor? And most of all, what plans did he have for the universe now that he was about to regain his freedom? These unsettling questions gather like storm clouds over Olympus as Zeus prepares to face his greatest enemy, his own father Kronos, the titan of time, whose thirst for vengeance threatens to shake the very foundations of the world. As the dark omens gathered and the cold winds of change began to blow, a wave of fear and suspense swept across the universe. The very skies seemed to tremble in anticipation of an unprecedented confrontation. In this climate of uncertainty, Zeus, king of the gods, felt the weight of destiny weighing on his shoulders. On Olympus, the gods were meeting in council, discussing how they should respond to Kronos' threat. Hermes, the messenger of the gods, brought news of disturbances throughout the cosmos. Unusual shooting stars, dark visions, and the rebellion of mythical creatures that had once been loyal to Olympus. In the depths of the seas, Poseidon sensed a strange uneasiness, and Hades reported disturbances in the realm of the dead. It was obvious that a powerful force was awakening, and the fragile balance of the world was threatened. At the same time, on Earth, humans were beginning to feel the effects of this cosmic unrest. Prophets and seers from various cultures were receiving disturbing visions, speaking of a war between the gods and the return of an ancient entity, full of rage and vengeance. In temples and sanctuaries, prayers grew more intense, asking for protection and mercy in the face of forces they could not understand or control. As Kronos gathered his allies and concentrated his power, cracks began to appear in the fabric of reality. In places forgotten by the world, gates between worlds began to open, allowing creatures from ancient myths to pass into the mortal world. Monsters forgotten by time, titans chained for eons, and dark spirits were beginning to make their presence felt, signing a silent pact with Kronos to regain their power and freedom. In this climate of mystery and suspense, Zeus knew he had to act. However, he was aware of the complexity of the situation. The fight with Kronos was not only a physical confrontation, but also a spiritual and cosmic one. A strategy that combined strength, wisdom, and magic was needed to counter the nearly limitless powers of the Time Titan. As they prepared for battle, the gods gathered their own resources, each bringing unique skills and ancient knowledge. Athena, the goddess of wisdom, was working on elaborate battle plans. Ares, the god of war, was mobilizing his best warriors. Artemis, goddess of the hunt, sought allies in the wild and natural world. Each god contributed to this impending confrontation, knowing that the fate of the entire universe depended on the outcome of this battle. Thus, in a mixture of the real and the fantastic, the world of gods and mortals was preparing for an epic confrontation, where the forces of nature, magic, and the destiny of humanity were at stake in the face of an ancestral threat. Kronos, the titan of time, resurrected and thirsty for revenge, against Zeus, king of the gods, symbol of order and justice. In this world full of suspense and mystery, every moment brought new challenges and twists, and a story that defied the boundaries between myth and reality. As the inevitable confrontation approaches, the tension in the universe of gods and humans grows exponentially. The earth, the seas, the sky, and even the realm of the dead seem to be shrouded in a state of anxious anticipation, every element of nature reacting to the impending disturbance. Zeus begins to mobilize his forces, calling to arms not only the gods, but also the legendary heroes of mankind, demigods, and mythical creatures. In his glittering palace, battle plans are woven, divine weapons are forged, and magical elixirs are brewed. Each god makes his unique contribution. Hephaestus, with his unparalleled craftsmanship, forges weapons capable of piercing even the toughest armor of the Titans. Demeter, goddess of agriculture, provides miraculous provisions that can heal and strengthen warriors. Aphrodite, the goddess of love, encourages the warriors, giving them her blessings for courage and devotion. Before the final confrontation, minor clashes occurred between the forces of Olympus and the emissaries of Kronos. In these battles, heroes and demigods demonstrate extraordinary courage and skill, but the Titan's strength and cunning are undeniable. In one of these battles, an ancient entity, a Titan freed from Tartarus, comes close to defeating Heracles, but Athena intervenes, saving him at the last moment. This conflict serves as a stark warning to the gods: the battle with Kronos will not be an easy one. Aware of the need for powerful allies, Zeus embarks on a journey across the universe, seeking support in the farthest corners of the world. He visits the realm of the nymphs, the depths of the ocean where mysterious creatures live, and even Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft, at the borders of worlds. Each of these encounters is full of challenges and conundrums, with Zeus proving not only his strength, but also his wisdom and ability to understand and respect other cultures and entities. During his travels, Zeus discovers that Kronos' strength comes not only from revenge, but also from a dark alliance with an unknown entity, an ancient force that wishes to destroy the cosmic balance. This revelation causes the gods to further strengthen their ranks, seeking alliances even among their old adversaries. In an unexpected move, Zeus proposes a temporary alliance with the Titans who did not side with Kronos, giving them a chance to regain their honor and place in the cosmos. Divine confrontation, Zeus versus Kronos. As the two forces converge, the world prepares for a showdown of unprecedented proportions. The total eclipse enveloping the earth heralds the beginning of the battle. Armies align, gods and titans, heroes and monsters, each with their own story, their own hopes and fears. The sky darkens and the first lightning bolts of Zeus pierce the darkness, heralding the beginning of the greatest confrontation the universe has ever seen. In this riot of mystery, suspense, and action, each character plays a crucial role in the unfolding of events. Their decisions, courage, and sacrifices will determine not only the outcome of the confrontation, but also the future of the entire cosmos. It is a story of power, betrayal, revenge, and redemption, where the lines between good and evil are often blurred, and the fate of each entity is closely tied to the fate of the others. On the cosmic battlefield, the forces of destiny gather. The great battle begins under a dark sky, where Zeus' lightning bolts shine like rays of hope in the oppressive darkness. The earth groans under the weight of the Titan's footsteps, and the echo of the battles resounds in all corners of the universe. The fight unfolds with ferocious intensity. Zeus, at the head of the army of the gods, rushes into the midst of the battle, his lightnings flying through the air like the bright arrows of fate. Kronos, surrounded by a dark aura, wields a giant scythe that cuts through both space and time. Each blow of the Titan seems to split reality itself. At the center of the storm, Zeus and Kronos face off head-on. Around them, the battle seems to freeze, all eyes on this epic duel. Kronos attacks with unbridled fury, each strike a blast of dark energy. Zeus, with his divine agility, dodges and fights back with his lightning bolts, which leave trails of light in the darkness. Their fight is not only physical, but also a battle of wills, a dangerous dance between order and chaos. As the struggle between Zeus and Kronos intensifies, their allies become involved in the confrontation. Hera, queen of the gods, coordinates the forces of Olympus, ensuring that no front is neglected. Poseidon with his trident causes huge waves to rise from the depths to hinder Kronos, while Hades releases the wise spirits of the ancestors to advise and guide the warriors. On the other hand, Kronos' allies, the Titans and dark creatures, fight with raw ferocity, wanting to overthrow the order established by Zeus. The confrontation reaches a critical point when Zeus manages to seriously injure Kronos with a lightning strike directly to the Titan's heart. At that moment, an explosion of dark energy and divine light mingled, causing a shock wave that was felt throughout the universe. The mortally wounded Titan uses the last of his strength to launch a devastating attack that threatens to destroy not only Zeus, but all of Olympus. At the critical moment, an unexpected figure intervenes. Prometheus, the Titan who chose the side of humanity, uses his own power to protect Olympus from Kronos' last attack. His sacrifice gives Zeus time to recover and deliver the final blow. With a swift and precise move, Zeus defeats Kronos, capturing him with chains forged by Hephaestus, specially designed to withstand titanic powers. With the fall of Kronos, the forces of darkness begin to retreat, and the battle ends. The world, though shaken, is beginning to find its balance. The gods, heroes, and creatures who have fought to protect the cosmic order realize that although they have won, the struggle to maintain peace and balance is an ongoing task. After the last echoes of the epic battle fade away, a profound silence falls over the universe. With Kronos defeated and rechained in the depths of Tartarus, order appears to be restored, but the scars left by this confrontation are deep and painful. The world, though saved, is irrevocably changed. The cosmic landscape bears the marks of battle, with craters and scars marking the places where the most intense confrontations took place. On Earth, humans and mythical creatures feel these changes. Climates change, some species appear while others disappear, and human civilizations begin to rewrite their myths and legends. The gods, heroes, and warriors who fought this battle now face their own inner demons. Zeus, though victorious, feels deeply scarred by the confrontation with his father. He ponders the responsibilities and limits of his power, feeling the weight of every decision he makes. Other gods, such as Hera, Poseidon, and Hades, reflect on their own roles in this ever-changing universe. The surviving heroes return to the mortal world, transformed and aged by their experiences. Prometheus' sacrifice, though decisive in defeating Kronos, is often overlooked. His figure becomes a tragic one, a hero who chose the side of humanity and paid a high price. In the myths and legends that followed, his name would be whispered with reverence and melancholy, a symbol of sacrifice for the greater good. The revelation of an ancient force that helped Kronos remains an unsolved mystery. This enigmatic entity, whose presence has been felt but not fully understood, leaves room for questions and anxieties. What was this force? What were his intentions? And more importantly, was she truly defeated or just temporarily withdrawn into the shadows, waiting for a new opportune moment to manifest her power? As the gods and heroes heal their wounds and reflect on the events that have transpired, the mortal world begins a new chapter. Civilizations are rebuilt, new myths are born, and the story of the battle between Zeus and Cronus becomes a legend that will be told and rewritten for generations. In these stories, unanswered questions and mystery remain central, stimulating the imagination and curiosity of listeners. The denouement of this epic leaves many uncertainties and possibilities for the future. There is an ongoing tension between the restored order and the unknown forces that lie hidden, preparing for their next move. In this universe filled with mystery, drama, and suspense, each character and each entity must decide how to live their lives and what role to play in the unfolding cosmic narrative. Thus, the story Divine Confrontation, Zeus vs. Kronos ends, not with a definitive conclusion, but rather with a sense of continuation, leaving room for interpretation, speculation, and a future full of infinite possibilities.